Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be back here with you with Pink and Mane. And tonight, you can see we are going to be working with the new greenhouse pop-up card dies. So I am feeling a little better. I'm not feeling great. So I'm going to stay in my tiny, extra tiny small box tonight, but I am here. I did watch Demo Donna make her version of this last night. So if you also watched her make it last night, you'll know that she took her inspiration from the cover art, which is a smart thing to do the first time that you make a project, right? If you're nothing's jumping out at you, kind of letting this be your guide. It's inspiration for a reason. I am not going to do that. My card is not going to look like how her cards looked. She did one like super neon. She did one very traditional. We're doing something kind of in the middle, and I'm bringing in some extra pieces and colors and dyes and things. So we're going to kind of put our own twist on this one. So if you saw that, you can definitely still hang out tonight. It will not be a repeat. um, yeah, small gains, Melissa, for sure. Yeah, but I am here. I'm here. Um, so yeah, I saw Sherry jumping in early. Miss Susan was here. Lisa, Virginia, Melissa's here checking in. Let's see. Lori's checking in with us too. Connie, Linda. Let's see. Jan is here. Lori, Maria. Perfect. I think I'm caught up. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry my voice sounds not great still, but my voice is usually the last thing to get better. All right, so from this giant die set, we're gonna need the greenhouse cover. We're gonna need our base, and we're also gonna be making a card on the back of our card. We'll get to that. Like I'll explain more of that when we get there, but I really want to make a card on our card, which is ironic because I don't usually make my card fronts into actual cards when we're live, right? But for some reason, this one is speaking to me that it should be a card. So this is our middle ground piece. We're gonna get these, at least a couple of these. Or maybe there's only one and it's just layers. I think that's what it is. I think we're pretty much going to cut everything. But I also need you to know that as soon as I saw this, the first thing I thought of was I can use that to make a haunted house in October. Like not put the plants, trim the leaves off the side. So at some point we'll be making a haunted house with it. Or some kind of spooky something with it in the fall. So okay. All of these little bits layer up on each other. I did pre-cut the florals that I'm bringing in from the floral banner die set, just to try to save us a little time there. But a lot of this is going to be die cutting. The one other cool thing that I noticed is for all of the like little stems and leaves, or the stems of the leaves, for the dies, the way they cut, you end up having like the stem is like the negative of your layer, so that you're working with the bigger piece. We'll die cut a couple and then I'll explain more about what I mean, I guess, by that. So the first main difference, I'm gonna cut my background out of pattern paper. So this leafy green pattern paper is from the Hello Fall pattern papers set. And I just thought it would give a really nice, fun, leafy background to our greenhouse. Some added leaves and dimension without us actually having to do any work on it, right? Why not? The front of our greenhouse, I'm going to cut out of pebble. That inspiration is like a very baby pink, but I wanted to go more earthy. So we're going pebble. Oh, I should say this strip of floral pattern paper that was also in the Hello Fall is kind of roughly um, my color swatch, like my goal swatch. I'm not married to it. If we, stray a little bit here and there, that's fine. But that was my main color inspiration for this card, that floral. Okay. Sorry for the camera shakes. This might actually be one where the die cut machine has to go back on the floor for at least just one night. So I don't have to keep going. And I don't have to keep the whole screen on all night. Oh goodness, I missed a bunch of people. I see Barbara checking in. I think I caught Maria. Oh, hey, look. Virginia said hi to Maria too. Lisa said she's so excited to get this set because her youngest daughter loves plants. That's so perfect. It's going to be a great birthday card for her then. And I see BJ's checking in from Oregon. Raquel's here. Mom's here. Diane. Diane said, sitting at a restaurant. I can't hear, but I am watching. That's dedication, Diane. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to pop all the windows out of our little greenhouse. The windows and the door. You could also do fun things. That's what I'm saying with the door and all the windows. That's going to be really fun. Definitely make something spooky with that. This is going to go back. We're also going to be adding some glass to our windows. Not necessary, definitely not in the inspiration, but I have leftover packaging from the other night when we used the stamp and die of the month. So I figured, why not use that? Oops. Yeah, that gets covered up completely. We're going to cut this from Pebble too, just because I don't want to take away from my other greens. All right, so our mid ground is die cut. Brennan, in my head, you sang that like is it Turk in Tarzan? He's like, the fun has arrived. All of these little cutouts. And so these dies cut all the little like tab folds. It's really nice how these go together from what I've seen. Like I said, I didn't practice, but I did watch Donna's video. Let's see, this screen looks like it doesn't fit, but like in our inspiration, There's an olivey green, but there's also like a true green. So I think it's fine. I'm just second guessing it because this is so olivey. It's fine. I'm overthinking it. Okay. I want whatever's going to be in the background to be darker so that it gives that extra depth, as much depth as we can. So this goes in the back, and it looks like originally the hanging plant goes in the back as well. So the little hanging part, I don't know, can be like brown. Why is that even a choice that I have to make? Yeah, that's good. Just cut it from some scrap. And then the hangy bit is going to be out of darker green. I'm using the new Distress Colors pattern papers because with how much assembly was going to be happening, I was not mentally prepared to ink blend, to also ink blend everything. That was going to be too much for me tonight. So I'm letting my pattern paper do the work for me. This guy. And then for these, this is going to be out of our light green. It's all light green. And on the back, it tells you exactly what things go on each layer. I was wrong about this. The individual leaves need to go on it. But that picture makes it so much easier. Um, on thing, like up here, it's showing that those are in a pot, but I don't see a tiny pot as an option. Like I don't even see that as a die. Did I miss that? Definitely has a. Okay. I don't know. We're just gonna go for it. And if we have to make it a pot out of one of our like windows pop outs, then we'll do that. This big one goes down here. I see that. And at first I thought I lost something, but I don't even see an outline for it. So yeah, so sorry, this goes to this big pot. To me, I mean, I could be wrong, but to me it looks too big for that one. This looks way smaller. This is this pink thing down here. Or like it's cream on this one. It's like a big pot. And this, right, in comparison, looks way smaller. I don't know. We'll see how it looks when they cut. Okay, green. And then The solid ones of these are going to be the back. These can be tan too. So for like these little bushes and things, there's a solid piece and then the piece that has like the veins and things on it. The ones that have the like lines cut out from it are the ones that go on top. That's what I was saying when it's like you don't have to worry about all the little fiddly bits being like all tiny and like hard to glue down because it's like reversed. Which it doesn't surprise me that Michelle decided that or loved it because I'd imagine they're much easier for her to use as well. Okay, we didn't need to run away. You can go over there. Guys are tough. But our little leaves are just so cute. Yeah, and once we see how this cuts, if we are questioning, we'll cut a second, like another pot. Maybe the scale is just different in the picture, and maybe it is the same for both. I don't know, or maybe we need to make it work and make it the same so that it makes sense for us. Let's put everything back in our book. Boost. I don't know where anything goes. My brain is not working. Goes in there. Come on, brain, get it together. Okay. Good on that. Yeah, I know there's one for the bigger pot, Karen. I'm just not sure if both pots in the card are the same one. Like, are we using the same pot for everything? Is my question, I guess. Especially because the pot in the picture doesn't match the color of the piece that it's like hanging from the ceiling with, which is the piece I'm cutting out right now from Pebble. Doesn't make sense that it would be that part of the die. Maybe we just cut two. I don't know. Yes, Karen says it's a different one. I don't see it, and I don't see a spot for it written out in the book. I'll hold the book up again in a second so we can put all this stuff away. You guys can help me double check that I'm not just going crazy over here. Okay. All our glues. Right, because big flower pot came from there. This middle thing is all one piece. It's not in that. Maybe it's easier to trim it down. Yeah. Well, it just seems weird if I'm missing it, Karen, just because there's not even a place for it on the map. You know what I mean? Like if it just like wasn't in here, like it was like drawn on but empty, that would make more sense to me. But the fact that it's not even drawn on, or I keep thinking it's like you could just use one of these, which I mean, whether that's like what's meant to be or not, I feel like you definitely can just use one of those window cutouts. I don't care if these are all in the right spot. These little like fern leaves are all like just slightly unique. And I don't have patience today. And then last thing is that pot. And the pot I think I want to cut from like this orange because it's almost like a little terracotta-y. And our inspiration pattern paper has orange, but my flowers that I pre-cut don't have orange. So I think that would be nice. Stand on its own a little bit. And then I think maybe that's all of the main die cutting done. So like even though that's a lot, it really wasn't too bad. Oh, I have the part that points for hanging. I have the hanging part. That's the thing that's the part I'm not fully getting. Like, does that mean that that is like where the pebble is? That's the hanging part? Because in the picture, the hanging part and the pot are two different colors. So if the solution is that I just color one of them with a marker, then that's fine. It just threw me off. But I think you're right, Karen. I think, yeah, it goes behind it. Barb, I didn't. Barb said, Demo Donna just cut the base out of a color for the pot. Got it. Thank you, ladies. Barb, I did see. I didn't see, but now I see. And Karen's saying the same thing. Thank you. I won't cut another piece, but I might color it. We could get crazy and color it with a little marker real quick. All right, let's start assembling. So this starts making more sense. So did I not cut? Did I not cut the base part? I don't think I did. I think I put it right back on there and I skipped it. Oh, because I don't think I knew what I was going to cut it out of. Let's go brown. One last thing. One last guy. If nothing else, you guys know that when you get this home, if you're like, oh, silly me, that it's just very normal. And we're all being just silly me's. Just out here trying to build a greenhouse, you know? Yeah, Barb, yeah, if you could just cut two and then layer them up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is add this brown solid piece to the little back of my house. Okay, there we go. And then our green, dark green leaves are going to go on top of that. So that one fits there. And this is probably going to end up being a lot of pattern and texture, but I think I'm going to like it. If I don't like it, I'm sorry. But you don't know until you try. Just taking little dots of glue. That's why I like liquid glue, because you have a second to shimmy it around if you need to. So that goes all the way in the back. Let's go lighter than I would think. I'm going with an O 1.2, and I'm just coloring whatever part of this might end up filling. Sorry, it was so far away. There you go. No, Virginia, I believe, because a sneak peek is always the third Friday of the month. I'm pretty sure the 21st or 20th is sneak peek, or is like launch, sorry. So I think sneak peek is the week after next. So there you go. So we just, with that marker, made our own little orangey planter. Let's see. It looks like it's meant to kind of hang over. Kind of want mine up higher. That's the other cool thing about this. You can really do really whatever you want. And like I said, if you don't want the only part that kind of locks you in is the background having those leaves, but they're just straight lines. You could cut around that so easily if you wanted to. So if that doesn't speak to you. Cherry Bear, I try, here, let me put it in the thing. I can't turn on the captions with the system we use. It only does them afterwards. We are swapping systems later this month, which is what I'm telling her now. Later this month. And that's literally going to be my first question. because there are some systems, like I looked it up, and there are some systems that let you do it. It's just that ours doesn't. So I don't know if the next one will or not, but I will for sure find out. And if it does, I will learn how to do it so that we can get captions, because I want to make sure anybody who wants to watch live can watch live and enjoy it. Okay, so that big leaf goes down real quick. And this is what I was saying, like the detail pieces for these pop out instead of you gluing them on top. I just think is so nice. It's so much easier. Right, working with two big things instead of one little fiddly piece. Yeah, done. I don't know for sure if it will be, but I know that it is, depending on the program, it is possible. It's like a special feature on some of them. So I can't promise that it will be, but I will certainly check when we get swapped over, which is very also scary for me, to be where 2 years in. This month is 2 years straight of Tuesday, Thursday lives. And so we've used the same system the whole time. And so me trying to learn a new system is going to be an adventure. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. All right, our little orange flower pot can go on. And I have this little extra. So this gets layered right in front like that. So that's how we're kind of like building out this little greenhouse jungle situation almost that we're going with. Oh goodness, it has all these little spots. Get my little pick tool. We were talking about Valentine's and Galentine's Day in the office today, and I am a big Galentine's fan. But I was just curious if anybody else does Galentine's, um, or is it pretty much like Valentine's or nothing? I remember as a kid thinking that Valentine's was like the most important holiday, and now it's like basically just the day before I can buy cheap chocolate. Might it just be lucky enough that, I have a very loving husband who is good with telling me he loves me all the time. So, not to brag, but Valentine seems like more for the kids. But I love Galentine's. I love a good excuse to tell my bestie that I love her. My best friend is the best friend, the bestest friend. Not a dang crafty bone in her whole body, but she's a great friend. Valentine's. Karen sends all her friends Valentine's. Love that. Yeah, Brennan said, don't forget about the monthly challenge. Mhm. As I'm building this, I'm wondering if the pattern paper was not the right move, but I also just felt like the black background that the inspiration and that Donnie used just did not speak to me. It just felt like too heavy or something. I don't know. White probably would have been fine, or like a more pebble, but I don't know. We'll see. It might just make it a little busy. Who would have thought I'd have done too much with my too much cheese? Go figure. Oh, Linda, Galentine's Day is Friday, or sorry, is February 13th. And it's meant to be like a day to celebrate your love for your friends, for your gals. It looks pretty green and earthy to me. All right. Then on the front, I want these to go on the front, like attached to the frame, I think. And then I cut all of these flowers from other little distress paper to add in. I just thought they would be cute to have some extra color so it wasn't just all green everywhere. Really big. Well, so these little flowers are from the floral banner set. And I was thinking mostly for that hanging basket and then these little like mini bush plant things. That it would make sense just to have a couple kind of popping up. Go. Maybe this one can get this big red one, almost like a big hibiscus or something. There you go. Right, but it like kind of fits the theme, right? Not exact, but a fun starting point. Only had a couple that are left over, so that's good. All right, so this die cut or left us some little embossed lines. So this goes forward, and this little tab also goes forward. So we're making, there you go, a little, like a little bracket. on either side. And you can reinforce these. And then this one has them, and I believe these go backwards. It would still work either way. I'm pretty sure they go back. So that gives you your depth, like without you having to measure or guess. You can just butt those up against the background, and then the frame goes on that front little L that we made. So for this, I'm not using liquid. We're going to swap over to some tear tape or easy tape. And I'm going to add 2 lines of this because it's pretty thin. Let's do one side first. So I'm just going to try to hold this so you can see. I don't like adding these flat because I feel like sometimes I get too far into the hinge. So I'm going to leave this bent, and I'm going to kind of butt it up against that hinge flat and then drop that into place, because then I know that it's going to be able to move. Sometimes I feel like I push it too far in and then my paper can't bend correctly. So then for this side, right, we're going to pull this over so that it's folded, line this up across the bottom, which now, right, I have at the top, but it's the bottom of our card. And then all you have to do is fold that down as well. And that'll give us like a really nice clean wiggle, because that's what's going to let our card fold flat. And when it's popped up, that's what that shelf in between that gap is what gives us that really pretty dimension. Oh, I think I like the background with the green. I think having a different green helps. Yay. Okay. Before I add the front, I want to make this a glass front greenhouse. So I have this. Oh, is that the right one? No, this is the right one. I have some packaging, and we're going to make a front for our. I'm so glad you guys are loving it. It's so different. The real trick is going to be to see how long I can wait to make the Halloween one, and if I make you do it with me or not. So this little 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch tear tape, I think it's 4. I don't remember. It's on the Pink and Mane website. Fits perfectly on the edges of this frame. So we don't even have to worry about glue. Virginia said, "Oh, you can just make it in." Well, okay then. You know I probably will. I just had like a vision of like a vellum and putting the door back in and putting like one of those it was a pear blossom press that we did the cool lights with for our balloon, putting one of their lights in and having it like glow from inside. Spooky, spooky greenhouse. House. Okay, just peeling off all the backing paper. And again, this is not necessary. I just thought it would be extra cute. They'd be like, oh, it even has windows. And I only worried about trimming that one side. I'm just going to trim the rest of it with scissors. I'm not measuring and pre-cutting all of that. That's too much. And it's like, right, not a huge thing, but oh, Brennan's teacher rounded his 89 to a 90. Say it with me, Brennan. Things just always work out for me. I'm so grateful, and things just always work out for me. But also, this is going to give me like a little more for my little florals to live on, I think. I think to make it easy for myself, because now we added this acetate, I'm going to put a little bit of the tape on this side and kind of sandwich these in. Like this. Now, this side. Cute. The problem is I put that across the whole bottom. I didn't really need to do that, and I'm worried it's going to stick. So anti-static powder to the rescue. I wonder if that'll fit on the house for the haunted house. Like the little house dies that we have. Maybe. I think we can just use this whole thing as a base for a haunted house, but I didn't even think about moving the house for a haunted house, Sherry. I love that you guys are on board with my spooky shenanigans. So the anti-static powder definitely worked, but it clouded up that front piece a little bit. So let me just take a clean little brush and get under there. There we go. All right. And then another tiny little bit of tape on both of these front flaps. I'm sure there's a way we could layer them, Sherry, and do like, make it like extra, right? Because our main house base was like a ranch almost. Unplug it. Sorry. My daughter had a question. Same thing. I'm just going to line up the bottom of the house with the bottom of the rest and that little hinge for that first side. There we go. Right. And then for the second side, we're going to lean everything over the other way so this tab sits fully flat. And we're just going to close this like a door. And that way we know that when we put it in our envelope, this is going to lay completely flat, right? And it can go either way. And that is going to make our little greenhouse with its little window. This is just so stinking cute. I love this so much. Okay, so to finish this off, here's what I was thinking, right? I don't, you can totally add a banner or like your sentiment here, but I didn't want to do that. I love how this looks, and I want it to almost be able to be like a diorama that you're sending in the mail. So my thought was, why don't we make a little mini card to go on the back? So this is a little under 3, and I'm gonna go from like the straight across part, not the triangle part. So that's also a little under 3. So let's go like math. That's not even math. I just have to decide what I want to do. Let's grab this scrap. If we did 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, that's what, 5 1/2? Let's start with 3 by 6 and make it easy on myself. So 3 by 6, and if we need to trim, we'll just trim. Two and a half just seems small. It's probably smarter to go smaller versus bigger, but 2 1/2 seems a little too small for what I want. So where is it? 3. I didn't even grab a sentiment. There's something cute. Here, we'll use our hello sentiments that we just. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, and you know what else I was thinking too, Sherry, was adding like a little stripe of the like inspiration paper too. Could be cute. But yeah, I think that this will work just fine. It just needs a little tiny trim. Just a hair. Right, like just a little bit. That would be great. I shouldn't live life on the edge. I should just pull out the misty, right? And you have 2 different approaches to this, right? You could make it so that when you flip it over, it opens, or you can make it so that it's like the front is a card and the whole thing opens. I think it's going to make more sense for it to open from the back. I'm going to stand on this side. Oh yeah, Lisa, a little animal would be very cute. Agreed. Oh goodness, what the heck did I clean that off like last week? Because it looks terrible. Looking rough. There you go. Simple, sweet. Don't need to get carried away. All right. So that is going to be my little cute little greenhouse. There's just so much fun detail, so much color. And we added florals, but you don't have to, or you could add a zillion more. And then when you flip it over, you have a little space for your handwritten note. This folds completely flat and fits into an A2 envelope. I think there's one of those over here. Yeah, here's my little A2 envelope. There's maybe it's this. There we go. It's that way. So it fits in an envelope. If you're going to be mailing it far, I would probably put in like a plain note card just to make sure nothing gets bent on the ends, but folds completely flat. And then you can pop it up when you get it. You can see adding that card on the back does add a little like bulk if you were to display it, but in my opinion, it also makes it a little sturdier, right? You're kind of giving it like a little frame easel to help hold it up. But you can see all 3 layers there. And it's so cute. So yeah, I really like this. I think it has a lot of potential. We will certainly be making something spooky with it sooner than later. I hope you guys had fun, or at least thank you for hanging out with me while I figured out exactly what was happening. It's always an adventure. I never like to pre-practice or plan things without you so that you can ride the roller coaster with me. Yeah, very fun, very happy little card. And I think depending on colors and stuff, super like gender and age neutral too, which is fun. We always need more of those. So I will be back here next week on Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern with something else fun. If you have requests, let me know in the comments and I'll check over the weekend. But otherwise, yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully I'll be on the full mend by next week and we'll be back to business as usual. So until then, have a great weekend. Stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys soon. Until then, happy crafting. Have a good night.